You are watching Co-op for Two. I'm here again with Greg.
Thanks for having me on your channel.
And we are playing the second of the two missions that come in this Apollo, a game inspired by NASA moon missions.
Weasel. They cut it down from 6,000 words. It's like, this could be somebody's college essay double-spaced.
If you read it, you think you're playing Apollo NASA moon missions, but I feel like they thought they were going to get... Like, they're not allowed to officially call it NASA moon missions, so they stuck in this a game inspired by. But anyway, this is the real game. The Gemini, which we played,
still real
was sort of a training mission.
Was it?
It's described as a training mission, yeah.
Well, I feel bad now because I thought was feeling pretty good about it. I'll be snacking on mine. I like the Apollo flavor better than the... So, we have you seen the movie recently? Of course, there's many books and movies on space exploration. Real space exploration, not like, sci-fi stuff. Did you see First Man? The movie First Man?
I don't think I did.
With Ryan Gosling?
No, I don't think I have seen it.
It's fairly lengthy, maybe 2.5 hours or so, maybe longer. And I remember watching it and thinking, like, as I'm watching, I'm like, it's okay. Yeah. It's fine. But it wasn't until, like, it's like the movie was like gradually pressing me, pushing and adding
pushing away.
No, because it was just such a gradual thing. Because there's no spoilers. It's a historical event.
Okay.
When they're going to land on the moon, you're like, it wasn't until then I was like, oh my god, I'm like nervous.
Oh really?
I was like really concerned because
they did a good job then.
Yeah, you really get a sense of like how. They just gave their lives to make this possible. Some people literally gave their lives. They died doing it. And some people gave their, the bulk of their time and energy for many years and sacrifices with their family and etc. But man, what an amazing, at the end of the movie, you really get that sense. So it's pretty cool.
So he was playing Neil Armstrong?
Yes, that's correct. Okay. Yeah. Buzz Aldrin had a very negative
view of the movie.
Yeah. And I believe there was some, it's unfortunate because it became like politicized, It became like a very
I do not remember anything about the movie.
Yeah, there was a lot of
the only movie I remember is the Ron Howard one.
Yeah. The Apollo 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very much about Neil Armstrong and about it. It makes it a very personal movie. But the movie is so inherently American. Like everything that happens in the movie, it is you have a sense like this is American people doing American. You know what I mean? But
it was a very political thing. The mission to land on the moon
versus Russia. But then for our present day politics, it really got like caught up where one party was saying it wasn't an American film or they didn't put the American flag in some of the scenes, and it's like. You obviously didn't watch the movie, because if you watched the movie, you would see that it is absolutely, like, American. So it's a bit of a bummer, but I hope people do watch it, because it is a really incredibly good movie, I thought. But in any case, that's not what we're here to do. We're here to play the game.
We're here to play the game. We're not going to teach you how to play it, because it just seems pointless. It's not... it's too much work to explain the game.
What about the men who landed on the moon, Jesse? Those people, you're like, it's too much work to teach you this.
This is more work than actually going on the moon.
Okay, well that's okay. I don't,
Greg is playing the astronaut. I am playing mission control.
I'm playing the game. Jesse is just sort of hanging out while I'm playing the game.
Mission control.
Terrible.
That's how they have to tell. This is how it works. You have to pretend to the astronauts that they're doing the hard work when really all the hard work went down on the ground.
Yeah. I can't. It's like
the astronauts are just like monkeys.
Jesse's the Xbox.
In the real one, they're just monkeys.
Look, that's fine. Every time I play this game, you can play Mission Control, and I'll play the game.
But we'll talk about that on the review. You'll hear our full thoughts. But this is going to be double the length of our Gemini mission, which should be
about 25 minutes. The last one, so less than that.
And we are not playing with the timer. We're not going to do that. It's too much trouble. It's too much work.
Unless we get one of these crisis things, we're not going to use it. Just simply because we set the timer, and I went through like 3 turns and it went off. So completely unnecessary.
You could see why if you had multiple players on the astronaut team,
it's just not worth playing.
Discourage them talking.
Again, our playthrough was like 25 minutes.
I need 2
probably
tokens.
I don't know, 6 turns or whatever. Just make sure they're the regular ones. Probably I don't know how many turns do you think? How many times do you think I rolled the dice?
I don't know. 5, 4.
More than that.
Okay.
At least 6 turns.
Why
right?
Even
so that's 24 minutes there. Well, I thought you'd give a reasonable answer.
He wanted to have the opportunity to criticize.
Well, there's 20, I think, what did you say, 22 actions total that you make?
Mm-hmm. On the first one, yeah, on Gemini. Now, because it's so hard to see and move that, you're going to have to be moving that for yourself when you're on that side. When it's on this side, I'll try
other than just figuring that you've missed a bunch of them. Mission Control. We see the Earth. Roger. You got it.
This is Mission Control to Apollo spacecraft. You're clear to begin Stage 1 liftoff.
Thank you very much, Houston. The Apollo program was designed, as I believe you know, to land humans on the moon and bring them safely back to Earth. Oh, wait, we're not even igniting the... Oh, we are. Look at this. The other one was like had all the smoke and it was like shooting off. This is like, yeah, you're up there. Okay, so we are... Whoa, boy. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is ignite the rockets to set... Houston, we're going to be igniting rockets to set course for the moon. So all same colors.
This is the first time we're seeing some of these, so we may have to break character and read some of this. Okay, and you have to have it completed before you get past
Which is
stage
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 actions.
And everything's set on max from the beginning.
Okay.
And you're rolling 10 dice.
10 dice. Yep. So I would have asked you that normally, but I know that at this point that's the case. So I normally can talk to I'm talking to you rather than talking to a partner here. So I know that communications are the one. It's unfortunate because I would choose to. I don't think experiments takes any damage. Like if there's no
Apollo.
Whoa! Let me do this part first. Oh yeah, no, go ahead. Do what you need to. Houston, what's your message? Sorry to interrupt you there.
Apollo, you've got an experiment we'd like you to perform on.
Well, I'm not even done with this part of you.
I know, but you may be making some decisions.
What is the negatives in general to the experiment track?
You mean if you let it crash? I can adjust your dice more
I see.
If you
Gotcha.
would.
Okay, so go ahead. Give me everything.
Paul, we'd like you to do an experiment on ones, please.
Roger that, Houston. So I guess that means he wants me to put this into here. Although I'm going to let it get hit a little bit.
Everything's perfect for now.
Mm-hmm. Houston, looks like we're experiencing some malfunctions and a couple of problems. Nothing to be too worried about right now. But we've got 1 damage on the flight control.
Roger that.
3 damage on the power distribution.
Roger that.
It looks like a damage to the experiment module.
Roger that.
Okay, so I need all same colored dice, and they have to be the same number here. So I do have 2 and 2. I don't necessarily want to lock that up right now, so I think what I'll do is... I think communications was good. He said he wanted 1s, so it could be 1s yellow or black. So I think what we're going to do right off the get-go here is give him some communication.
Paulo, I'd like to clarify, we need yellows in the experiment.
Oops, that goes in there. Houston, I received that message. Houston, we're going to send over a couple of 1s to you.
Roger that. Proceeding to 1 move forward and 2 1s.
So I can do odd number of dice. Houston, we're going to go ahead and... Ooh, that's Palm's tokens.
I didn't catch that, Apollo. Can you repeat?
Sorry about that. We're going to go ahead and do a couple of... gain some tokens here in the life support module. Going to gain 3 tokens. You want to move us ahead on our track?
Roger that.
Houston, we're going to go ahead and give you 15 communicate comms tokens. 1, 2, 3.
Roger that. Advancing 5, 6, you. You've 7, got 8. 2 turns to finish your stage 2 launch.
Houston, we're not going to feed all your comms tokens through your little slot there. I hope you can manage with that.
Roger that, Apollo.
Ooh, I can almost do this. That's a bummer. 3. Oh, I wish I had done that. Houston, I wish I hadn't given you 15 tokens.
Too late for that, Apollo.
Oops, this was 4. I wish I had. If I had not given you 10, I could have switched this down and put it up there. That was so stupid.
No.
It's too late now. Houston, you want to move us ahead on our track, and we're going to go ahead and end the night. Houston,
do that.
Not starting out good. I made a pretty critical error there that could have completed stage 2 for us, and that's going to result in 3 extra damage. So I've made a pretty severe.
You're rolling
mistake.
10 dice, by the way, other than 3 that you locked in.
Houston, looks like we've got a couple of issues. Looking at 1 damage in flight control, a couple in power distribution, 1 in life support, 2 in experiments, and 2 in communications.
Roger that.
Houston, we're going to go ahead and complete stage 2. We're going to fire. We're going to do, after firing and jettisoning 2 of the 3 Saturn V rockets, we're going to reignite the 3rd stage rocket to set the moon trajectory.
Roger that, Apollo. Good work.
Wow. Okay.
Apollo, I've got some information coming through for you.
We're reading you loud and clear.
I need a total of 4 1s in my experiment. I've already got 2.
Houston, I don't believe you're allowed to tell me all that information.
Apollo, I knew you were going to say that, but since you've already given me the 2, I thought I would just remind you.
I was aware of that numbers there. I'm giving you 2 more here. Can you move me ahead on my track?
There's track.
Apollo, does that complete our
Apollo,
experiment?
that does complete an experiment. This was a 5-band transponder experiment, as you know. Experiment measured regional variations in the moon's gravitational acceleration. The reward is 4 comm tokens, which now brings me up to at least 20.
That makes me feel even worse about my earlier mistake.
And we are now queuing up a new experiment, which I would like to inform you.
Houston, before you inform me of that, would you let me know if there's anything that I can repair that needs the repair?
Sure, Apollo. We've got power distribution at level 3 in a dangerous territory. We've got, we need you to collect some yellow 5s. 3 of them.
3 yellow 5s.
That is correct.
Houston, roger that. Houston, we're going to go ahead and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go ahead and put 5 repairs into the power distribution module, balancing these system levels.
Roger that.
Houston, we're going to go ahead and tuck in for the night. It's been a very eventful day. The crew here is all exhausted but pretty happy, and we're looking forward to hitting another day.
Roger that, Apollo. Have a good night. We'll see you in the morning.
Houston, mission here is a little doubtful that you moved that ahead as many times as you were supposed to. Is that correct?
It's possible this should move up 1 more, Apollo. Thanks for the help.
Mission control, we don't have a lot of confidence in your ability to do that. Okay, let's take a look at this, rearrange the vessel.
Apollo, I'd just like to remind you that at the beginning of the game, we said that you would have to be moving that on your own on that side of the board, and you have not done it at all.
Mission control.
That's mission control out. Closing up for the night. We'll see you in the morning.
Mission control, we are feeling a little bit like... Okay, mission control, we're going to be taking 1 damage in flight control and experiments.
Roger that.
Can I ask you a question, actually, just to time out real fast for the rules? If I complete this, do I get these dice back and then put this, or do I have to fill in all 2 for
I believe that's right. I believe you must do this before this.
I know that for
put
sure.
Anything. And I believe as soon as you finish that, you get them back.
Fine.
I will. Let me just check that, though. You complete the first part, and then you get them returned. Yes.
Okay. Mission control, I'm going to go ahead and move less and less. Yeah. Mission Control, we're going to go ahead and rearrange the vessels. We've completed that, stage 3.
Roger that. Congratulations.
Mission Control, yellow, I think it's yellow 3s.
No.
Mission
Yellow
Control,
5s.
give me another.
Yellow 5s.
You have to give me a thing to do.
You have to remember it? Is that what you're saying?
You have to give me one because you just corrected me. Mission Control, sorry we forgot about that there.
That's alright.
Mission Control, is there anything that I can make a repair on?
Apollo, we've got a fairly low experiment track of 4. Can always use some help with that.
Apollo, can you move us up along on the mission parameters there, and we're going to go ahead and give you a 5 repair to the experiment module.
Roger that. Appreciate it.
And this has to be all the same?
No, look, it's this plus this plus this equals this plus this.
It has to be all the same color? This doesn't say, actually.
It doesn't say color.
I see. Okay. So 12, that would be 7. I would need a 5 there. Okay, I think I might end the day. I'm going to end the day because I don't think I can do a very efficient. We don't believe we can make an efficient use of our remaining dice mission control rather than not spend my actions. So we're going to go ahead and re-roll for the new day. Yeah, I just didn't feel like that was a good assortment of dice that was going to really help me, and I don't want to spend all the actions, even though we'll take more damage here, but I did some repairs, so I feel pretty confident about it, Mission Control. I know I just fixed up the power distribution, so I'm going to let it take another hit of 3, I think. So,
Apollo, just like to let you know, flight control is down to 5.
Okay. Thanks very much for that information. Mission Control, looks like we're going to take a hit of 2 on experiments and 3 to the power distribution module. We'll go ahead and look into those problems.
Roger, Apollo, they're okay. We're still nominally active.
What do I want to do here? Mission Control, you might want to tell me if we have any. Oh, actually, I know what to do. I know exactly what to do. Turn these into 5s.
Apollo, just to remind you, you've got 3 turns left for stage 3.
We do appreciate that, Mission Control. Can you move us along on that track there? We're going to go ahead and give you these 3 5s for the experiment module.
Roger that. We've completed an experiment, Apollo. As you know, that was the Lunar laser ranging experiment, which reflected a laser beam from Earth, and the round-trip timing of the beam provides an accurate gauge of the distance to the moon.
Roger that. We felt a little bit like Star Wars.
And for that, you get 2 comm tokens and 1 plus-minus token.
Roger that.
And let me just queue up a new experiment here. I would like to let you know that we need some black 5s. 4 of them.
Roger that. 4 black 5s. I'll try to remember that in some possible way here. I'm a little concerned at the moment, Mission Control, because I'd like to complete this. But let me just look
Roger that. You've just moved up to here. You've got 2 turns to complete that, so you might want to get to work.
I'm reluctant to use my... yes, here we go. So, 6, 5, 6, okay. Mission Control. We've gone ahead and... Can you move us up to stage 3, please, as we complete the extracting of the lunar module from the rocket body, and we've reattached the vessels in the correct order for lunar orbit and landing while traveling at nearly 20,000 miles per hour. It's going pretty quick up here.
Congratulations, Apollo.
Boom, boom.
You've now got lots of turns to do these 2.
Mission Control, we're going to go ahead and give you a couple of 5s up there for the black 5s for the experiment.
Roger that, Apollo.
So we need 2 more. We're going to go ahead and tuck it in for another night. This has been a very productive day. We're about halfway to the moon now. We're just happy to have got a successful mission so far. Thank you very much, Mission Control. If you could just let me know how many dice I'll be rolling for the new round.
You're still rolling 10 dice, Apollo. And have a good night.
Just to look over our stage 4 information here, Mission Control looks like we're going to need 4 yellow dice to enter the moon orbit, and then we're going to need 4 black dice to do separate vessels. Cannot use the same number as above. Ah, I see. Oh, so wait, that does kind of make me think you have to do lock.
It would make you think, but it's not true. It says
Are you sure?
Really? Yeah, we read it. It says, if this flight has two sequence of 2 numbered parts, must complete the first part. In doing so, any dice used in the first part are returned to the astronauts after it's completed. They may be used in the next roll and the next sequence.
Interesting. Okay. Just I'll have to remember about that then.
You can't. Here's something we've been doing slightly wrong. You can't start on the next stage until it goes past that stage.
I've not done that. I've actually been making sure.
I think we've been on a stage working on the next one. Like you're not supposed to be working on stage 4
I think I remember that.
Okay.
I just bumped this. I hope this was. I think these were both 6s. I could have bumped that from the 5.
Mission Control to Apollo. Please don't bump your dice.
Mission Control. Maybe if you weren't distracting me with stage 4.
Apollo, I was clarifying a rule you were getting wrong, but if you feel that's not important.
Mission Control, you want to go ahead and give me some any comms about any areas of the ship here that we might be in trying to protect?
Oh, you're actually in pretty good shape here. Board looks good. I guess you could flight controls on a level 5. That's kind of important.
Mission Control looks like we're going to take a damage and power distribution, flight control, and 3 on comms. Mission Control, we're going to get that set back up for you here.
Communications.
Mission Control, we're going to give a 5 repair to the comms. If you can move us ahead on our track there, please.
Roger that, Apollo. Reading you loud and clear. Sorry about that. We had some communications problems, but we seem to be up and on running.
Wow, this is kind of a weird situation here.
Apollo, we'd just like to let you know that flight control is down to level 4.
I think I need some of these. We're doing a life support situation here. We're going to gain ourselves 4 tokens.
Roger that.
Flight control. So we're going to give you...
Apollo, we heard some strange sounds on your communications. I think you've left the comm channel open.
Sorry about that. We were just enjoying some of our tasty, sponsored by Apollo snacks. We're going to go ahead and give you 6 adjustments. Maybe if you want to pull down a certain area and then let us know how low it is, and we'll go ahead and give a 5 repair.
Roger that.
So you've got 6 adjustments going in. If you'd like to move us, I'll move us along our track here so we don't forget. Not to Houston, not that we think you would forget.
Roger that. Adjustments
you want to go ahead and
completed.
use your comm token. Tell me where I can put the 5 repair into.
Roger that. You can put that repair in experiments, please.
Roger that. 5 incoming 5 experiments.
Copy that.
We're going to tuck it in for the night. A little bit concerned that we've only got 4 actions to complete stage 4, but I feel pretty good that we've got 4 plus or minus tokens.
You're rolling 10 dice, obviously.
I should hope so. I remember I need 2 more 5s for that, but they got to be black 5s. Okay, looks like Mission Control looks like we've taken 2 damage to the power distribution and 1 to life support and 3 to experiments. We'll have to look at those modules, take a closer look at the moment, but right now we've got to enter our stage 4.
That's affirmative, Apollo. Please concentrate on getting stage 4 complete.
Mission Control, we've gone ahead and completed the entering the moon orbit.
And what number did you use for that? 5.
I had to spend most of my resources to do so. So I could use 1, 2. This could go down to a 1. And I would need 2 more tokens to move it down to a 1. So can I get 2 more tokens? I cannot. I get 1 more. It's interesting. Anything you want to tell me, Mission Control?
That's a negatory. Mission Control. All systems look green from here.
I might actually... Well, maybe I can do a repair. Is there anything I can repair, Mission Control? You want to give me a comm token for that? Otherwise, I'm going to have to end the day.
You can't you can't get yourself more plus minus tokens for next turn?
Mission Control, I only have 1 yellow, which will give me 1 single token, not worth an action.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I could do this, but I would rather roll more dice.
No, I think the systems look okay here.
I could easily take... Well, I guess I could save 1 action then. But we'll take it... Okay, I'm going to end the day. It seems crazy because I would love to put some of these here. You know, if I had 1 more token, I could. Or 2 more tokens, I could, but this would have to be a higher die. So, that's a bummer. If I had it...
you could put...
I could repair a system... Easily, I could do 1, 2, 3, which would be
I'd rather you save your time for stage 4, just in case.
Tucking it in for the night, Houston.
Alright, Paul.
Maybe I'll get a little lucky with my roll here. 3, 3, 1, 1. Ooh, I don't know. That's a little nerving. Okay, Apollo looks a little dodgy here.
Apollo, you are speaking to Mission Control.
Mission Control, I was referring to myself because I'm a narcissist. It looks like we've taken a single hit in power distribution, a single hit in life support, and looks like 2 hits each on experiments and in communications. Looks like we've got 3 actions left with which to complete what we need to complete.
Copy that. Moving you ahead.
4.
No, sorry, that was not moving ahead.
Mission Control, we're going to go ahead into the life support, and we're going to gain ourselves 2 tokens. Move us ahead, please.
Roger that. Apollo, we've got power distribution reading here on our settings, showing it number 2. We're only on 2 power distribution. We don't care so much, except we'd like to not crisis it.
Mission Control, thanks for that information. We're going to go ahead and complete separating of vessels, which uses all of our our tokens here.
Congratulations.
All right, we've gone ahead and Lunar module undocks from we've undocked the Lunar module from the command module, which will continue to orbit the moon. That's pretty awesome, actually. Look, they've this little thing is what actually lands on the moon, right? So this module is carrying this, and that's the lunar thing that sits on the very famous thing, right? And these guys are inside there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Did you see Laura McDonald has this funny bit about he's talking about how many people have been on the moon, and it's 5 people or I don't know, whatever. And he's like, imagine being, I can't remember the third guy, Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, the third one, I don't know, but he's like, imagine being the third guy, and you go all the way to the moon, and then there's this little rope bridge that leads from the capsule to the surface, and you just can't go down there. He's like that close to being able to walk on the moon, and he just doesn't. Mm-hmm. Imagine he's like looking out there, and he's like, "Are those guys golfing out there?" Like it's all funny. But anyway, mission control. We're going back onto this here part here. You said power distribution. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and
just move the table. All right, never mind.
Maybe. Mission control. Can you move us ahead on our track there as we are putting 3 into the power distribution?
Repair?
3 repairs.
Oh, roger that. 3 repairs to power distribution.
Mission control, I'm going to go ahead and maybe turn it in for the night unless you have something that could take a 3 repair usefully.
Understood. Yes, Apollo, we could use actually some repair to experiments.
What's the number? You could tell me that, right?
3. We're on 3.
Okay.
So you're giving me 3 more?
Houston, we're giving you 3 for the experiments.
Oh, affirmative. Thank you very much.
Houston, we're going to turn it in, button it up for the night. We do have a quick rules question here on the descent maneuvers, though, on stage 5. In this case, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 2, 3, 4, 5. They just can't.
Yep, but they must also alternate dice colors.
Oh my God, that's
now, this is and also remember you can't do that until you move off that.
Correct. Well, not really.
You're rolling 10 with the use of this.
Okay. You can maybe we can try to find the information on that, whether that's useful or not. Right, like the whether these get reused. I would imagine you would continually use them.
They might only get reshuffled when they get used up. I'm not sure.
Well, that's what I mean. As long as they do get reused. Right? If you run out, that's right. Well, there's only 2 left, so it would make sense, right? Yep. Houston, looks like we're taking 1 hit to life support, and looks like experiments and communications are both taking a hit of 2 each.
Roger that. Boop, boop.
Houston, if you move us ahead on our life support rack, move us ahead on the track there, as we're going to get 3 plus or minus tokens. Houston. Oh yeah, this goes up here. 1, 2. I never use this but I always like put it in the wrong spot. 1, 2. That's going to be a 3. I think that was a 4. Yes, because I had a 4 here. Because we took 1 hit, 2 hits each. Okay, so that I'm going to keep, and then this I'm going to use for this thing, for 3. I think I did that right.
Is that for this? Nope. Alternating dice colors.
Oh, for God's sake. Alright, hold on a second. I had a...
Paul, this is Mission Control. We've got a color problem. You please, we've decided you've not registered as colorblind, and that's caused some unexpected problems on the space deck.
Okay, so I don't know how to repair this because I don't know what it was.
Roger that. You don't know how to repair that.
So 6, 5... make this into a 4 and 3. Okay, so I'm going to spend this extra token just to make sure I didn't cheat. If I change one of these, it's over. It's changed, and that sucks, but at least I didn't cheat it. Mission control, can you move us ahead on the track? We've gone ahead and initiated our descent maneuvers.
Roger
now
that,
we just need to land on the lunar surface, which must be 2 numbers not used above. So I could actually do that right now. It just can be anything, any color.
Any color. 2 numbers not used. 1 and a 2.
So I think I'll do it this way. Actually, no, the comms are down. Oh yeah. So just can be. Let's do it this way. 1, 2.
Moving
We've
ahead.
gone ahead and The Eagle has landed. Houston, the Eagle has landed. Look, we're on the surface of the moon. That's pretty awesome, yeah? Okay. Houston, we're going to go ahead and try to get this communications tokens back up. We're going to go ahead and give a 5 repair to the... Houston, now we have to repair some more stuff that you've shattered. Houston, we're tucking it in for
this is Mission Control. We've got our comms back up. Wishing you a good night and a good evening, and grateful America thanks you for your service.
Houston, roger that. We've worked hard to get here. It feels pretty good to be on the surface of the moon now, I will tell you. We've planted a flag. We're doing some walking around. We're hoping that General Zod and the other Superman villains aren't up here to
Mission
kick us
Control
around.
to Apollo, please keep the humor down to a minimum.
Mission Control, am I rolling 10 dice?
Mission Control to Apollo, you are now.
Roger that. Mission Houston, we do appreciate that. All your assistance. Mission Control, we are organizing our... I guess I'm going to... Mission Control sounds like we might need to get our life support up a little bit. Mission Control, looks like we're taking a damage to the flight control.
Roger that.
We're going to take 3 hits to the power distribution.
Roger that.
And then a hit to the comms. We know we fixed that, but it looks like we're having a little more problems with that again.
Roger that.
Before I do this distribution, I know I can't complete stage 6 yet, but I would like to just look at it for the rules purposes. All same color dice. That's pretty standard.
All equal.
And then yellow dice and black dice. Okay. Okay, Houston. So we're going to give that a break for a moment. Houston, looks like we're going to go ahead and do life support and get ourselves 3 tokens. We're going to go ahead and hopefully complete our experiments. We're sending 2 5s.
Roger that, Apollo.
Mission Control, I realize that maybe I should have left it and put 4 there instead of using my thing there in case you could have done that yourself.
Roger that. That would have been a smart thing. But, as you know, the cold cathode gauge experiment has been completed. This experiment measured the abundance of gases in the lunar atmosphere. As a reward, we'll take 3 comm tokens, please. Good work,
Roger that. Looks like we have 2. I'm going to shuffle these up again, and I'm going to distribute 1 more to you.
Roger that. That completes all of the experiments for this mission.
That sounds great, Houston. I will tell you this, though. I wish that it had given us plus-minus tokens instead of more of these comm tokens, especially since our communications are at an end. But
I think we needed those comm tokens, so...
Houston,
Apollo, I'd like to report that the power distribution system is on level 2.
Roger
Nearing
that.
a bit of crisis here.
Power distribution, roger that. We're going to go ahead and, if you'd like to move us ahead on the track there, we're going to give you a repair of 5.
Thank you very much.
Actually, Apollo...
And,
actually, Apollo,
yes.
Apollo, we're going to give you, actually make it 7.
7. Copy that. I'm also moving this ahead once more because I think we may have missed it for the experiment completion.
Roger that. As I said, Houston, I don't have a lot of faith in your ability to move that.
Apollo, this is Mission Control. We don't need your smart aleckiness about the
Roger that.
tokens.
Is there anything else I can give a good repair to lead us into the next stage? I do have the ability to do a 5 repair here.
Poe, that's a affirmative. Life support could use a little bit of repair.
Roger that. We're going to do a 5 repair to the life support.
Roger that.
By spending one of our tokens. Looks like we're going to tuck in for the night. It's been great walking around on the moon. A lot of people have gone through a lot of hard work to get us here. It's a beautiful moment in the history of our country and of our planet. It is one small step for man and one giant leap for mankind.
Apollo, we've got some requests I'd like to pass along from the Mission Control ground crew. You could speed up those end-of-night reports. Just give us a summary and save the poetics for the final day. And also, we've got some requests from the Mission Control operators here that they're finding the term tuck in to be a little troublesome, so a little creepy. Could you mix it up in the future? Mission Control out.
Roger that, Houston. We'll take that under advisement. Mission Control, looks like we're having a little problem with the power couplings. Power distribution's down by 2. Looks like the experiment module is down by 1 as well. Good thing we've completed that last experiment, which for some reason seems to be out in the wall willy-nilly in the side of the table there.
Mission Control to Apollo, please let us take care of our side.
Well, it'd be nice if
we will organize things as we see fit.
Wouldn't mind if you tucked
concentrate on your panels.
Tucked that in right there, Mission Control. I appreciate your tucking that in, Mission Control. Did you get our 1 damage on the experiments?
I did, affirmative.
And probably not the worst thing in the world. We've had a couple damages to the comms token since you and I have been... Looks like the stress of this mission is definitely wearing on the two of us.
Roger that.
Mission Control, looks like I'm ready to start the next turn.
Apollo, you are cleared to begin your turn.
Not yet having the ability to do that, so I think maybe I'm going to try to gain myself some...
You will be able to this turn if you take 2 actions first. Just keep that in mind.
1 action. Oh, it has to be here. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Apollo, I've said that 3 times, and you have verified that you understand that.
Interesting. We're going to go ahead and allow you to make 3 adjustments to the power distribution.
Roger that, Apollo.
If you'd like to move us along our track there. And I'm going to go ahead and you can move us again because we're going to do the life support and get a couple of plus or minus tokens. Now we are on to the next phase here. No, yeah, is that what I want to do? That was a 4, gives me 2 tokens. Do I lock? Any information you want to send me on the comms there? Anything you suggest that maybe we end any levels or anything?
Check. This is Mission Control. Negatory. There's no information you need.
Alright, Mission Control, you want to move us in on our track. We're going to put 3 into the flight control here to lift off from the moon's surface. Unfortunately, we only needed 1 more of these tokens here, and we would have been able to go up 1 on the... We would have been able to complete that. It makes me a little nervous, honestly, flight control. I'm wondering if I should spend the action or if we should... flight control, I'd like to repair a system. So if you have a system I can repair, I can do a 5
That's a negatory. No information to communicate.
I don't really want to end this turn. I would like to just give a repair to a system. Flight, Houston, again, we got a few minutes here. Please tell us a system that can be repaired.
This is Mission Control to Apollo. I've just used a communications token to request more communication tokens.
Roger that. We're going to go ahead and give you 8 tokens if you'd like to move us ahead on that track.
Roger that, Apollo.
We're going to go ahead and feed them through your little mouth here. Even more delicious than our deliciously sponsored Apollo snacks. Okay, we're going to go ahead and bed down for the night. Is that better than tuck in, Houston?
Affirmative. Appreciated, Apollo. Have a good night.
We look to be in pretty good shape right now from what you're telling me, Mission Control, so I feel pretty confident that we're going to be okay, even if we take a little damage here, having locked in 3 of those dice. Oops, that was a 6. Sorry. This is a 5 and a 1. All right, mission control there. We've got taken a damage to our flight control. Looks like there's some problems in our power distribution, 2 damage there. The experiment module, luckily we are finished with our experiments because we did take a whopping 3 damage there. We'll have to take a look and see what's going on with that system. And the communication systems have taken a couple of hits, so if that goes down, you won't be able to hurt my feelings, Houston.
Copy that. Apollo, we've got some readings here. Our experiments track is down to a 1. Dangerous crisis is approaching.
What do you mean it's down to a 1? Isn't that mean there would be a crisis?
Nope, we've got one more space, Apollo. Apollo, if you remember your training, there is a 1 level more.
Roger that.
Apollo, I'd like to also say our communications are on what, number 4? Number 4 level communications.
Houston, don't you remember last round when I had an ability to repair a lot of things and you didn't seem to care too much? What did you say again? You said power distribution.
Apollo, please, if you spend more time listening to what I'm saying,
power distribution.
What was making jokes, you might remember that communications is at 4.
Communications and power distribution, yes.
Communications is at 4.
And you said power distribution.
Experiments is at 1.
Experiments is at 1, not power distribution. Okay, so I did put the... Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and go to life support for, which will, move that along. And I'm going to gain myself 3 plus or minus tokens. We're going to go ahead and complete spending these. We're going to go ahead and complete lifting off from the lunar surface.
Congratulations, Apollo.
Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a 5 repair to the experiments module if you'd like to move us along on our track.
Roger that. 5 repair to experiments.
And we're going to do a 3 repair to the communications.
Roger that. 3 repair to communications.
And we are finished for the day. Again, a very productive day. We managed to lift off from the lunar surface. We've got only a couple of actions left, 3 actions left before we have to complete stage 6, making me a little nervous, honestly, Houston. So hopefully the die rolls will support this endeavor this time. Houston, not looking good at the moment. Getting a little nervous on this one. Uh-oh. Okay, Houston, looks like, Houston, looks like we're taking 2 damage to the power distribution and 2 to communications.
Roger that.
Looks like 1 to the experiments. We just did some repairs on that. We're going to have to take a look and see what the problem is there. Houston, I'm going to have to try to spend the next 3 actions to get what we need here. It's not looking good. Houston, we're going to go ahead and take 1 action to... wait, actually, I can put multiple colors here, though, right?
Mm-hmm. Apollo, this is Mission Control.
Before we do that...
I'd just like to report that our power distribution is down to a 1.
Go ahead and move us ahead on that track. We are going to gather on our life support 3 plus or minus tokens. And we're going to... more of those, and we're going to go ahead and dock with command module orbiting the moon.
Well done, Apollo.
You said power distribution.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go ahead and you want to move us ahead on that track 1 more, as we're going to give you a repair to the power distribution, a repair of 3.
Roger that. Thank you very much, Apollo.
And that brings us to this completed stage, yes?
Yep.
So after successfully redocking with the command module, jettisoned the lunar module, and we set course for home. We'll be coming back to you soon, Houston. As you can see, we are headed back.
Roger that, Apollo. Safe journey.
Re-entry, just to look at the re-entry to the Earth's atmosphere is just a simple greater than thing. And then this will be the last stage. Okay. Houston, how many dice are we rolling?
You're still rolling 10 dice, Apollo.
Roger that. Houston, how many times do you think you forgot to move us forward on that track?
0 times, Apollo. Seems like there's a lot of time to do this.
Houston, we are taking 1 damage to flight, distribution, and communications.
Roger that.
And it looks like we're taking 2 damage to experiments.
Roger that.
Houston, anything that you'd like to tell us other than our power distribution being on the low end?
Yes, Apollo. We've actually got communications are down to a 4.
Communications are down to
and flight control is down to a 4, which will stop you from completing a stage if it gets any lower.
Okay, so well, wait a minute. I was going to put this here. Oh, they can be any color though.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Boy, this one's a tough one, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4. Houston, we've gone ahead and completed stage 7. We're re-entered into Earth's atmosphere. Boy, this would be. We definitely think that this pulls off, right? We definitely read that, right?
Yes, it definitely pulls off.
Houston, we managed to fire the engines one last time to enter Earth's atmosphere at the precise angle for successful splashdown. We'll be seeing you soon. Hey, look at that picture's cool too. Can you put that on the end? Mm-hmm. Houston, we're going to go ahead and try to make some repairs now to these integral systems.
Copy that, Apollo. Much appreciated.
Apollo, we're going to spend this die here, and we're going to go ahead and give a 5 repair to the life support module. If you'd move us ahead on our track, please.
Apollo, that is a very bad thing to do. You should be knowing, since you rolled 10 dice, that we do not need 5. Confirmed flight control. Houston, thought I read you wrong there. I thought there was something wrong with it.
Spend one of your channel tokens. So the problem is that for some reason I forget that this part is on the board, and I keep thinking it's only these. I forget that flight control is a thing there. Okay, and then Houston, we're going to only go ahead and give you a 2 repair to the power distribution.
Roger that. Apollo, you're in danger of losing communications. We're on a 4.
Roger that. Houston, looks like that's all we're going to be able to do for today. Did you move that up for the thing? You've absolutely forgotten some of those. There's no way. Houston, we're going to go ahead and...
we got a long time. All we got to do is survive to...
Houston, how many dice am I rolling?
Let's move this long one. You're rolling 10 dice.
Houston, we appreciate that information.
And you remember the last communication I gave you?
Houston, you're going to have to go ahead and repeat that information. I mean, it was power distribution, but I
no, you did that one. It's communication. So Apollo, the communications level is only 4. No, I'm not going to. Just because you forgot. All right, there we go.
Houston, it does seem like you could have done this as a special ability. Okay, so communications.
Apollo, I'd just like to clarify that special ability was for experiments. Experiments are all done. They did not
Apollo, I'd like to go... Or, Apollo, this is me. Apollo, I'm just calling down to the cafeteria. Can you fix me up something?
This is Mission Control. We're putting on some remedial training for communications.
Houston, I'd just like to advise you that I'd love to have an Impossible Burger waiting if you want to hit the ground, since apparently that's all we can eat. Houston, we're taking 2 damage to flight control, life support, and experiments.
Roger that.
Houston, is there any information you'd like to give me?
Yeah, in fact, I'm doing that.
What is this?
I transferred damage.
Houston, would you like to give me any information as to some systems we might not want to repair, since that's the only thing we have to do now before we have splashdown?
Yes. Apollo, you already know about communications because I've informed you that twice now. But
Apollo, I'd like to remind you that communications aren't really integral at this point of the game, since we don't need that for splashdown.
Oh, that's true. But you do need it for communication for everything else. All right, I've only got one more thing to say. I've got nothing more to say.
You just told me you had one communication tile. Give it.
No, I'm just reminding you of the same thing. All I told you was communications. No, oh, that's true. I did that.
Give it over.
I'm giving you this last one.
Yeah, because you told me you had one left. It's true. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now I can try to expend all my actions. Okay, so 1. 1, 2, 3.
Hold on. Oh, wait, we have a problem.
Why? Don't say anything. You cannot say anything. Right. No. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do a.
Don't try to land. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Don't.
Shh. I have these 5 things to do.
All
right, so I'm gonna bump up our flight control by 5.
Okay.
Houston, I don't know if you're reading this, but we're going to have a 5.
Roger that. Apollo, this is flight control. Since you've just taken away my last communications token, you might want to consider giving me some more. That might be something you could do.
Houston, we're going to go ahead and give you...
What did you just do? Did you just do flight control?
Yes, I told you that.
Okay.
Repair. Houston, we're going to go ahead and give you 5 communications tokens. You want to move us ahead on track?
Yes, I appreciate that, Apollo. Apollo, here's a communication token. Our experiments are suboptimal. They are below 3.
Houston, don't you think I would have known that these are the 3 things I would increase before we land?
Well, perhaps you can't increase all of them. I'm letting you know which one you need.
Houston, we'd like to do a 5 repair in the experiments.
Apollo, this is Mission Control. You decided that you should turn around, go back to the moon, hang out for a while. We're going to just take it easy for a few days. There's no rush.
Houston, I'm going to move this along to stage 7.
All right. Did you do anything to experiments?
Yeah, 5.
Oh, roger that.
Houston, we're going to go ahead and do another move here, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 repair to the life support system.
Roger that.
Houston, we're going to go ahead and end the day here as we...
Roger that, Apollo. Tuck in. Have a good night.
Houston, we did get a request not to use the tuck-in terminology. It seems like you might have asked us not to do that, and yet you seem to.
For a minute.
Houston, this is the most passive-aggressive game I think I've ever played in my life. Okay, so...
Copy that.
Power distribution doesn't matter. This comes in here, so I want to do... Okay, Houston, looks like we're taking a 3 hit to the power distribution module,
Roger
and
that.
communications are going down 2, and we're going to lose 1 in our experiments.
Roger that.
Houston, is there any information you'd like to give us at this time? Oh. Houston, we're going to go ahead and make a 5 repair to the comms.
Roger that, Apollo. Communications are back up. Appreciate it.
Looks like we're approaching splashdown. We're seeing the Earth rapidly approaching. Good to be coming home. Again, remember to get us some of those Impossible Burgers. Is there anything we can do to make sure our landing is any more successful at this moment?
Apollo, this is Mission Control. We've got green lights all across the board. You are clear to land, and your Burger King endorsement deal has been canceled. Your Burger King endorsement deal has been canceled. You may stop pushing the Impossible Burger at this point.
Houston, I would like to end with a nicer score. So for my last action, where can I make the most difference with my repairs to the systems?
Oh, you could repair the power distribution system.
Roger that. Houston, we're going to go and do a 7 repair to the power distribution system, which should take us directly to Splashdown. Looks like we maintained our systems while parachutes are deployed to safely land the capsule in the ocean, where the astronauts are we are picked up by a recovery ship. And look at that little thing. Mission complete.
Pretty nice.
So let's take a look, Houston.
Let's stop here. Let's stop here, and then we'll do a review.
Well, I know. I just was saying about that specific. We've played more than 3. Or is that 2? We played 2 off camera and 2 on camera.
4 total.
Mission control. I'd like to remind you that we have. It does seem like once things get out of control, you're.
You could if you started hitting crises.
It's like a snowball effect.
Yeah, it absolutely could be a snowball effect. All right, let's end here, and then you can watch our review for our final thoughts.
Vote. Is this the most passive aggressive game of all time? Houston, would you look into that, please? Apollo, I like looking at that. Can you imagine listening to this?
How annoying will this be to watch? Like
somebody's watching this. They're like getting in their car and driving to us to like kill us.
The first time you'd be like, that's cute. And then like the fact that we're doing the whole game in those voices gotta be annoying.
Fun though.
Fun for us.
Fun for us.
Yeah. That's the most important thing.
Will be watching.
Doesn't matter. The most important thing is we have fun. All right, guys. We'll see you on the review.
How much did we do wrong in that game?
We could have missed like 4 of them and we'd still be fine.
When you say we, what do you mean? You got a mouse in your pocket?
I'm saying.
That's your job.